Hello and welcome to Destiny Digits. This is the Life Path number 9 reading. So your Life Path number tells you about an energy that you carry, and you find this number by reducing the digits of your entire birth date to just a single number. Okay, and so this tells you about an opportunity that you have in this life based on the energy that you are carrying as a 9. And so what does it mean to be a 9? 9s are givers, they're selfless, they are humanitarians. And so if you take all of the energies of 1 through 8 and all the experience and wisdom that they've acquired in their own right, 9 is almost like a compilation of all that. And so by the time you get to the 9 energy, this is somebody that has a very expansive perspective, right? They're very idealistic, but in short, they are a humanitarian, and so a lot of their time and energy is focused on not receiving but giving. Okay, and so we did have 2 cards to the far left come out. I'll save those 2 extra cards and we'll just get right into the 5-card spread. So card number 1 talks about where you are. So we talked about our life path. You know, it's a journey. We carry this energy. And so this is kind of like a temperature check to see where you are, what your task is, what is currently difficult for you, what is a strength, and then in the end we're going to talk about what the goal is. Okay, so space number 1, where you are, we have deepening. It says, once you're on earth for enough lifetimes, your old soul will begin to long for non-grasping, detachment, and surrender. They bring the peace of God. And so this talks about prioritizing peace, right? And so to truly understand what peace is and means, this card almost implies that you've had to have done this human thing many, many, many times in order to wisen up your soul, right? And so once your soul reaches a certain age, once it's lived a certain amount of lifetimes, it understands that the true currency of this human life is peace. Nothing else. It is just peace. And so this card deepening talks about that's the space that you're in. And so that's what you recognize. That's what you offer others. That's what you require from others. But this just talks about your soul your soul has collected a lot of wisdom. And peace, it's almost saying that, you know, by not holding on to the things of this world, by detaching from all forms of, you know, success that others have imposed upon us, and just surrendering to this life, right? That's where you find God. That's where God is. And so you almost have to strip yourself. And so this deepening is saying go deeper. You know, you haven't seen enough. You haven't explored enough of self. Now, beneath deepening, we have Queen of Cups. And so I do want to mention that in in the tarot cards, the 5 cards in the middle, 3 of them are court cards, which can signify actual people. And so I'll just mention that these can be energies that you're stepping into, or these can be energies that are coming into you to play significant roles in your story from here on out. So deepening, and then we have Queen of Cups. And so what does a Queen of Cups represent? That is somebody that's extremely sensitive and tender, nurturing, compassionate, somebody that's just loving, right? This is just like the Queen of Love. When you think about the most loving, nurturing person, this is the Queen of Cups. That's the energy. Somebody who really understands you, who intuitively is trying to feel all aspects of you in order to really get it right, right? That's the Queen of Cups. And so when we're talking about deepening and really being at peace, this can be an energy that you're seeking. This can be an energy that you carry. This can be an energy that has stepped into your life as a result of you prioritizing your peace. But nonetheless, the Queen of Cups can represent the ideal energy you seek to understand when you are in that. This is what that space of peace would feel like to you, right? When you surrender, it feels like this. Beneath the Queen of Cups, it says, I'm unapologetic about what I desire and trust that what I focus on will grow. And so listen, nines, as you deepen, as you go within, as you detach from all forms of programming, right? And you really get to the truest aspect of self. There's just heart, there's just love. That's really all there is. And so this Queen of Cups for you is saying that you don't mind making that your pedestal. You don't mind living in a space where love and peace are truly what you're valuing, right? Like those things are elevated above all else. And so beneath the Queen of Cups, it says like you're not even sorry for it, right? You understand because your soul has done this numerous times, right? And you're listening, you're obeying. And so when you get this message that peace is where God can be found, and it is through surrender, detachment, and non-grasping, where we can really be in a state of bliss. And so because you believe that, that is what you are eating, sleeping, breathing, and living for. And wherever you put your energy and your intention, it will grow, right? And so you just need a seed and just a little bit of faith. And your belief will actually begin to grow into something that not only you have been seeing and saying for quite some time, but others will begin to recognize this truth also. And so that's the space that you're currently in. Now let's talk about your current task. We have trust. So in the space you're in, you are being asked to trust. It says, allow me, divine, to give you my deepest longings, trusting you to know exactly how to handle them. And so this is like a layered type of trust. So one, you have to trust that the divine is going to give you everything that it desires for you to have. One, you have to trust that, right? That it's coming, and God, spirit, ancestors, guides, whatever is beyond the veil for you, whatever that realm is for you. You have to know that that energy is working in your favor at all times, and consistently wants to deliver you things that reflect your value and your worth. You have to know that without a doubt. So no matter what life looks like or feels like, you have to trust that always, that it's coming, it's always going to come. You're actually never without, right? It's just positioned at a different part of your journey. So that's the first thing we trust. But then you have to trust that it is coming to you because you know how to handle it, right? So it's not coming to you just because you look good or just because you're kind. No, it's coming to you because not only have you packaged your character to receive this delivery, but you've also proven that when you have it, you have the potential to do right by others, to do right by self. So beneath the trust card, we have the Emperor. And so the task you're being called upon is to trust that what's for you is for you, and it's coming to you, and you will know exactly what to do with it. Right? The divine is trusting you, and you are trusting the divine. So beneath trust is the Emperor, and this is a card of authority. Right? This Emperor is a compilation of all the kings in the deck. Right? This is an energy that is just fierce, but balanced and stable. This is an energy that has the ability to dominate, but like not demand. It's not in a forceful way, but it's just in a way that is secure and stable. And so this Emperor talks about your current task is to step into this energy, right? Once you trust that what's for you is for you, and that you know exactly what to do with it when it arrives, once you know that, it's almost like you can relax. And then, as you await its arrival, you really just kind of envision what you will do when it's here, right? You really position yourself on this throne and this power. You get comfortable in that seat, whether it's here or not. It matters not. It's you trusting means that you are growing comfortable in this space, whether it's present or not. Beneath the Emperor, it says, my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe. So let's just say something. This isn't my happiness. This isn't saying that I'm only happy when I get what I want, when I want it. No. It says my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith. So faith isn't about having and understanding and seeing and knowing. Faith is saying that even in the unknown, I trust, I believe, I have hope. Right? And so that's where my happiness is. It's not in the outcome. It's just in the existence that I know that the relationship I have with the divine is so on point and so secure that it doesn't matter what my life is looking like. My happiness is in the breath that I just took. Right? Because that breath signifies that there's more to do and something greater than you is still using you to do work. Right? And so that is happiness. It's not possession. It's not people, places, and things. It's just the sheer existence of you. So that's your current task. To trust you, trust your own authority, trust your ability to make decisions from a clear mind, and to have faith. Whether you have the answers or the clarity, faith and trust can still be something that you've woven into your daily practice, right? So space number 3, these are the difficulties, right? So it says right action. This is something difficult. Let everything that wants to go, go, and everything that wants to come, come. And so this is about balancing the scales. But remember, surrender is very important. And so when we're talking about letting things go and letting things come, there's no resistance involved on our part. It's really just about allowing and accepting and embracing the way things are kind of shaking out for us. And so what happens is, when you decide to let things go that no longer serve purpose and what is to come, you make room for what is meant for you. Right? And how beautiful. Beneath right action, you have the Ace of Pentacles. So that could be this, and this is showing up in the difficulty. So as soon as we surrender, things are starting to leave our life. And remember, there's a level of trust that you have to have. And why things are going, because other things must replace them, right? And one of the things that is going to replace it, we have Ace of Pentacles. Ace of Pentacles is like literally a seed of prosperity. This is a gift, a sign of abundance. This is showing new life, new opportunity, new potential. And this is an extension of the divine. This is recognition for work well done. Right? You took right action, no matter how difficult it was. We're still in the space of difficulty in the 3rd spot. No matter how difficult it was, when you do the hard stuff and when you make room for all that's for you to enter, the reward comes, right? The energy that you have just welcomed into your life is one of harvest. Beneath the Ace of Pentacles, it says, wanting more for others puts me into an energy of abundance. I'll read that again. That is literally the energy of a 9. Wanting more for others puts me into an energy of abundance. So that's 9, that's Queen of Cups, but also right action, letting go, releasing. This is saying, listen, I have no attachments to anything. Right? I'm not expecting anything. I surrender to this existence. I just really want whatever the divine plan is to be. Right? I'm not holding on to any people, places, and things. I am just at the mercy of this. And when you start to focus less on your own desires and really about the fulfillment and the good of all, your gifts will just naturally start to appear, right? Because you have just put that energy, by wanting it all for everyone else, naturally you're just welcoming your own harvest. So space number 4 talks about your strengths. So what is helping you right now? It says individuality. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this earth school. Listen, okay, so here's the thing. Yes, Earth is a school, and we're all here for a lesson. I mean, unlike traditional school where we go and we sit in a classroom and there's one teacher for like 25, 30 kids, and she's telling every child the same thing at the same time in the same way, and everybody is expected to just get it and make it work, right? But that's not reality. There's only one of you, and it is significant for you to crack your own code. It is significant for you to be you in the best and truest way that you can be. And so the beautiful thing is that you know that, you believe that, you already live that. Individuality is showing up in your strength location. And so you already know that everybody literally is following their own agenda, no matter what it looks like. Our soul is requiring us each to grow in a certain way. We have our own study plan. You embrace everyone else's story, and you also authentically live in your own story. Now, beneath the individuality, we have the King of Wands. Listen, and this is somebody that has mastered their magic. Okay? This wand, it talks about your force, your power, your zest. This is like your drive, your spark, your spirit. This is like the energy that you put out, and whenever you show up with this, it manifests, it does something. But to be a king, you've made it all the way to the top of this energy, so this is something that you've mastered. And so when we're talking about your individuality, you literally have an energy about you, right? That is attractive and magnetic, right? And it's alluring. It's passionate. It's fire. It's fire. Beneath the King of Wands, it says, I am the loving energy of the universe. And so individuality in your aspect 9, a strength of yours is that you have mastered your own energy. You have figured out your own code. You know what you need, what you want. You have cracked the code. And so when we begin the reading with Deepening, that talks about the amount of lifetimes that you would have had to have lived to really understand that nothing is more valuable than peace, right? So that talked about the wisdom that you possess. But then when we're talking about the individuality and the fact that you have understood your own energy source and how it can benefit you and how it can benefit others, right? And so once you use yourself to really become a vessel for others, abundance begins to appear in your life. Now, what is the goal of all this? Why is all of this necessary? Space number 5 talks about where we're trying to go with the current energy that we've just talked about. Intuition. Intuition. And if you just look at that card, it is a heart with an eye in it. And so we have our eyes that are, on our face, but then our heart has its own vision, its own navigation system, and that is where intuition is seated. It says each person's road to the inner Lord is extraordinary and personal. And so when we're talking about the inner Lord, this is saying that, God is within us. And so there is a direct phone line between you consciously and the God within you, right? Like at any point, you can send a text, you can speak, you can sing, you know what I mean? Any form of communication is fine. But intuition is strongest when you know that phone line is on and open 24/7. Like you have to know that in order for that gift to start to strengthen and power up for you. It says, how liberating to listen inside and sense moment to moment what's needed. And so listen, your eyes can be seeing this world, this 3D world in one way, in a very mundane way. But your soul, your heart, your intuition Listen, it perceives and it picks up information, and it also carries the stories of your past existence in lifetimes. And so this is the seat of your wise counsel. And moment by moment, it is telling you which turn to take, which way to go. Maybe not always why, but it's always taking you in the right direction for the right reason. Right? And so that's why trust is so significant. Because you have to trust it's taking you on the right path, even if you can't see the steps ahead. Now the beautiful thing, underneath intuition is the Six of Wands, which is real life victory, success. It's overcoming the obstacles. It's mastering something. It's beating the odds. It's overcoming the challenges. So it's following it's literally following your intuition to your own success. So that is the goal of this space that you're in. You need to listen to your heart, because it can see something that the eyes cannot see. It can see something that the mind cannot rationalize, right? And so the heart needs to be prioritized, because it's telling you moment by moment, turn by turn navigation system is what's available to us all. Right? And it takes you literally to the Six of Wands, which is success and victory, not just for self, but there are others around this character celebrating, cheering. You have an audience. Beneath the Six of Wands, it says, the moment I embrace my peace within and surrender the outcome is the moment that the universe can truly get to work. So as soon as you take your hands off the wheel, the divine can show up and finish the journey for you. Right? So there is a moment, and that comes through wisdom, where you must surrender. And it's when you get that timing right. And it's when you make peace with that surrender. It's when you make peace with not knowing how and not knowing when, not knowing who. It's when you don't know what the next moment will be that the universe really can do its best work, because there's no resistance. You're not being combative with your energy. You're just allowing. Now let's talk about what's on the bottom of the deck for each row. So at the top to the far right, the bottom of the deck, we have grounded. It says, many of the most evolved beings on earth are regular folks living with joy, dignity, and courage. So this is the second time, at least so far, that this has mentioned longevity, right? Longevity. So it talked about many lifetimes on earth, and now we're talking about evolved beings on earth. So there's something about you that is elevated. There's something you see that most cannot see. And if you didn't know, you must know that you've been here many, many times. And what comes to you with ease should not be taken for granted. You didn't acquire all that you know with ease. Trust. Every lifetime had its own struggle, its own trauma, right? And so you are a collection of all those stories, which is why you understand the simple life is the most peaceful, right? It's about joy, dignity, and courage. Most people would say that's so regular. It's so basic. Right? But it's because they can't see, they can't feel, they can't sense. They haven't collected what you've collected in your lifetimes. Now, bottom of the tarot deck, for the middle row, we have the Three of Cups, and this is like a celebration. So this is a time of joy, coming together, partnerships, soul tribe. You know, you've gotten to a certain level where you've achieved a victory by trusting yourself, mastering your energy. You know what I mean? Really being a person for the people. And knowing that is really the way, being unapologetic about that, right? And anybody that can't appreciate that, any people, place, and things, in the center, the most difficult part was right action, letting go what wants to go so that we can allow and receive what wants to come. And sometimes those are new people, places, and things that have to replace what no longer fits with where you're going. Right? And so that Three of Cups talks about, listen, at the end of this, there's joy, there's celebration, there's collaboration, there's camaraderie. there are times where being merry and happy are really going to show itself in this physical world. Right? You were already carrying that happiness within you, but now it's about to start manifesting through connections and events and celebrations with others. And lastly, at the bottom of the deck for the bottom row, it says, I create mindful moments throughout the day, reminding myself that I am love and miracles are natural. And so this is about being conscious. Choosing to be conscious, even if you initially have to schedule on your phone times when you have to tap in, say affirmations, mention gratitude statements, nonetheless. But this is about being intentional about having conscious moments throughout your day to tell yourself two things. I am love and miracles are natural. I am love and miracles are natural. Right? And so when miracles start to unfold in our life, we shouldn't think like, why me? Do I deserve this? Yes, miracles are natural when you're you, right? All right, so 2 cards. I always like to save the extra cards. To the far left, 2 cards that came out. One says, Your Path. It says, Dear Lord, help me trust that there's a plan far beyond what I can see through my fears and illusions. And so listen, when we don't have clarity, when we're fogged in, it doesn't mean that the path has ended. It doesn't mean that things have fallen apart or stopped moving in our favor. It just means we can't see, right? But remember, we are always working in tandem with the divine. And so where we lose sight, where we lose vision and understanding, the divine is always present, always aware, always able to navigate us in ways that we couldn't fathom, right? And so when those fears start to creep up, when all those illusions start to play those mini horror stories convincing you that you're in the wrong place, it's the wrong time, that's not the divine's intent for you to be at fear. It's for you to trust that this plan is far beyond what you can see. And your fears know that, which is why they're trying to find a safe place. So you are on your right path. If you wondered, this is confirmation. You are on your path. No matter what it looks like or feels like, you are where you are meant to be. Now beneath this, we have the 2 of Cups. And so 2 of Cups literally talks about union, partnership, soulmate, a significant relationship that is overseen by the divine. Above the 2 people, we have the angel wings, but it just talks about the presence of something more, right? 2 people that could be very different, but they're a match in some way. One person standing in water, one person standing on land. And so there are differences. But this is knowing that you will know when you're on your path when this 2 of Cups arrives. Or the 2 of Cups could give you a sign. It could give you confirmation that yes, this is your path. This is a part of your path. This is significant for you in some way. Okay? All right, 9s, thank you so much for stopping by. I'm hoping this was helpful. Take care.